Hey everybody, it's Steve Amma. I just wanted to make a quick video about a question I get asked all the time, and that is, how's the market? You may have asked it yourself. The answer to that question is kind of complicated because it all depends on what angle you're coming in at. However, what you're really asking is, are homes selling? So the answer to that question, in our area, they are selling, and they're selling quickly. If they're priced right and they're in good condition, they're selling very quickly. But what I wanted to talk about how's the market, is from a buyer's perspective. Because I'm working with buyers right now where we're experiencing having to go in knowing that we're competing almost immediately with other buyers. And that causes buyers sometimes to stand off and say, wait a second, I don't like this feeling of competing. Is this a top like it was before? And am I going to get myself into trouble? So this kind of brings me to a survey that comes out every quarter. This survey is called the Home Price Expectation Survey, and it's sponsored by Zillow. But what it does is it takes 100 experts in the industry, and it could be economists, real estate analysts, or some type of expert. What their goal is to do is to come to a consensus on what's going to happen over the next 5 years, and they do it every quarter. So a couple interesting things about this report. They had to revise their expectation for this year, 2019, up from 3.8% increase to a 4.3% increase. And that's a pretty big difference considering this is an average number of 100 experts. So that's one thing I wanted to note. And another thing is only 3 out of the 100 forecasted any sort of decline. So that's also a significant thing. Now, why is a report like this powerful? Well, it reminds me of a Brain Games episode I saw recently. Have you ever seen that show? In the episode, the host had a giant gumball machine, and they interviewed 20 people and they had them guess how many gumballs were in it. And the numbers were all over the map, real high, real low. Then he brought in this little kid with a calculator and he said, this kid is going to guess the right number. So the kid goes and he adds up all the numbers, divides it by 20 people, and he comes up with an average. And wouldn't you know, that average was almost dead on. It was pretty neat. And they described it's because the collective opinion tends to be right. That's why a survey like this is so powerful. People can rely on the average opinion of these 100 experts. So over the next 5 years, if you use the numbers provided by that report, I'll just run a quick scenario by you. If you bought a $300,000 house and you put 10% down, okay, that's for simplicity, that would be $30,000. Well, at the end of the 5 years, according to this report, that $300,000 house would then be worth $351,277. And that should be really encouraging for buyers today, because that 10% investment, that $30,000, now becomes $81,277. So that's pretty much a 170% increase or return on your investment, something that you really can't get in the bank, can you? So that's really, I'm wrapping it up with that, and hopefully that alleviates some of the mindset of buyers out there. If you need anything, hit me up. Thanks again.